that challenge too. Gotta build products that people need and want to solve problems that they actually have. And when we look at this network and we look at this ecosystem, we are all working together to do something good. We talk about at SDF using blockchain, using Stellar for good. It doesn't mean that you all have to have the same mission, but the thing is we're solving problems. We're solving real world problems that people have in all of these different geographies across the world. That's what it means to use this technology for good.
Welcome to Token Topics. XLM's the topic. We're going to dive in and see what's going on with regulations coming. Words from Danielle Dixon. We're also going to see what Stellar is developing in Africa to bank the unbanked. Also exciting news about ARF eliminating Nostro Vostro accounts, which means a big XLM price is inbound. If you're an XLM fan, please subscribe to the channel for future videos, and don't forget to hit the like. Let's go ahead and dig in. First topic of discussion is regulation. We know it's coming, especially after the whole FTX fiasco. I personally think that that was a domino piece to push this regulation forward, because now it's in the front seat. Everybody's talking about we need regulatory clarity because of all this craziness that's in the crypto industry. I can't think of any other blockchain project in the United States that's really trying to play by the rules and push for regulatory clarity and asking for it, other than Ripple. But Stellar Development Foundation, Danielle Dixon, has appeared before Congress multiple times. So if there's any blockchain project out there that's doing it the right way, it's Stellar. Go over this article from Morning Brew. If you'd like to go through the whole article, I'll put the link to it down below, but I'm going to go over a couple good areas. So she was asked during this interview, after this whole FTX fiasco, what it's going to be like. She basically stated that the SAM of the FTX didn't make things any better, but it is now talk of the town of regulations. So she was asked, how do you evangelize to lay people that blockchain technology underneath crypto has nothing to do with coin prices or these scandals? She states that when you're dealing with value and people's money, it's very hard for people to make that distinction. They're going to be concerned about crypto, which is why one of the things we've always really focused on is the use of stablecoins, that we've already seen an increase in stablecoin usage. She was also asked that when all this subsides, the dust settles, how does the industry return to the benefits of blockchain and give people that much subtler message? She replies that I've been before Congress 3 or 4 different times, and every single time I'm here to talk about the use cases. And frankly, it's incumbent upon all of us here to talk about the use cases we're working on right now with really large NGOs to deliver aid to countries that really need that aid and leveraging blockchain. You know, when you're in the mud, it's hard to climb out of it. But I feel very positive of the future because I know what this technology can do. We know Stellar is working hard to bank the unbanked, and Africa is a big area of concern. 350 million people in Africa don't have access to bank accounts, and only 20% of families have formal bank accounts. FondBank provides real-world solution to this problem by turning 8 billion active prepaid SIM cards globally into virtual debit cards with Stellar. Once users load the prepaid airtime credits onto FondBank wallets, those credits are on-ramped on the Stellar network, digitized into tokens named MIN, which can then be turned into USD coin. I think this is an opportunity for solutions like ours in a combination with Stellar to make a big difference and help the next 2 billion humans join the digital financial world, says FondBank. Pretty impressive. As I stated, Africa is a large area that Stellar is really hitting, and this is an older article. Particularly in Nigeria, Stellar Development Foundation invests $750,000 into Nigeria remittance platform. Now let's listen to this clip from the recent Meridian event on a particular country, Nigeria, and what Stellar is doing in Nigeria.
It might be useful to take a look at a specific country to see how digital innovations could potentially solve problems. Yinka, can you kind of speak to what's happening in Nigeria and maybe also talk about its CBDC project?
Okay, great, thanks. Nigeria is one of Africa's most populous nations, and I think our digital revolution started when the telecoms infrastructure was liberalized. And when we saw that basically gradually people were adopting mobile telephony, the other services like financial services latched on and sort of started providing phygital services. But one thing that Nigeria has evolved in is mainly the fintech revolution, where we have a growing number of fintechs that are raising good capital and unicorns growing. And while they're providing different banking experiences, the reaching the last mile and the bottom of the pyramid is still not quite there yet. Another good thing that Nigeria has is the issue of fast payments. So we have an instant and inclusive payment system that basically transfers money between bank accounts instantaneously, which is useful especially when you have people who don't want digital channels but just want to use their bank accounts and continue using accounts. And then another area is the issue about reaching the last mile is also a phygital strategy, because we can't eliminate agents, right? These third-party agents are the ones who stay in rural areas to serve those communities that don't want to be digital or don't even have access to the devices. So it's a mix of different technologies, but one thing we're seeing is that COVID did help in terms of replacing cash, because without physical cash exchanges, we had to go digital. And the best way is really from bank account to bank account before you go to the channel levels and things like that. So those are the basic things going on. And then in October 2021, our central bank launched the first African central bank digital currency called the e-Naira. And that has been an interesting experience. I wouldn't say it's been an interesting experience. I'll leave it at that. And bottom line is, I think before a central bank, my conclusion is before a central bank can implement a digital currency like a central bank digital currency, you need some fundamental drivers or enablers like government trust. And without that government trust, basically people would still prefer their cash. So people don't want the government monitoring their activities or their movements and things like that. So those things still need to be ironed out. And then another thing that's also required is a lot of digital literacy and financial literacy, because people don't really understand, okay, what if in terms of consumer protection, who owns the money? Yes, it's a central bank currency, but we've seen banks go down and people lose their shirts and things. So there's still a lot of lack of communication and awareness building that needs to go on. So I'll stop there.
More exciting development for the entire ecosystem. This was posted out by Fabio Cesini. Now we know Circle is a stellar partner. Circle, now available in Apple Pay, B2B adoption will be directly proportional to tokenized USD liquidity available. By the time that happens, any business or corporate or FI will be able to manage counterparty risk at a granular level with any bank in the USA, from smaller corporative banks to the usual international banks. Welcome to the era of democratized liquidity access. Now on to another awesome stellar partner is ARF. What's going on with ARF is pretty impressive. They are in the process of eliminating Nostro Vostro accounts, and they just raised $13 million for their technology. Now, we're going to go over that article, but keep in mind, a lot of people are talking about XRP, Ripple, and XRP. They're not paying attention to what's going on with Stellar. And this is exactly what this technology, one of the major steps of the technology was to eliminate these pre-funded Nostro Vostro accounts. To see Stellar actually doing it is pretty impressive. So ARF recently raised $13 million from investors including Circle Ventures, Hard Yaka, and a Stellar Development Foundation. Circle Ventures joined the round alongside Stellar Development Foundation and the United Overseas Bank, Ventures Management, Signum Capital, Hard Yaka, NGC Ventures, Blockchain Founders Fund, and 500 Emerging Europe. That's impressive. The firm intends to use cash injection to further development of its blockchain-based technology to provide global treasury, management, and working capital credit lines for financial institutions and licensed money service businesses alike operating in cross-border payment industry. Right there, XLM. ARF's technology sits right at the center of cross-border payments evolution. Now on to one of Stellar's partners. Great news for Novati Group. Novati Group just posted that they are delighted to announce that they've been nominated for 4 categories in the Nora Awards. They're up for Best All-Around Payments Provider, Best Payments Gateway, Best Cross-Border Payment Solution. Boom, that's Ripple and Stellar all over right there. and 4, best security and anti-fraud solution. If you're interested in voting for the NORA, which is the National Online Retailers Association, I'm going to put the link to this down below. Well, that's all I have for the video. Please put your thoughts and your comments down below. What are your thoughts about regulations coming? What are your thoughts about the elimination of the Nostro Vostro with ARF? Pretty impressive. I want to say thank you everyone for watching another edition of Token Topics.